canceled due to illness. And then we are going to move the delegate swearing in to the first thing on our agenda. So does anybody have any questions, concerns with those 3 changes? I'm just going to do them all in one motion for the sake of time. All right. So I motion to move public comment to noon, move the delegate swearing into our first item on the agenda, and then remove the workplace equity workshop presentation from the agenda. Any objections? Any abstentions?
For point of clarification, we were going to ratify the Constitution before swearing in.
The motion has been made.
All right.
And we did talk about this beforehand with Will, and he was fine with it. So, seeing as there's only one objection and no abstentions, the motion is passed. We'll go ahead and make those changes. So first things first is we're going to move into the delegate swearing in.
Awesome.
So just a little bit, I mean, obviously y'all know about the delegates program, and you guys were just in a training about it, so you guys know a lot about this program, but this is something that we're super duper uber excited to launch, and I think it's going to be a really great opportunity for us to get more advocacy work done, and really just get more diverse student opinions. We really want like a student government that's as diverse as our student body, and really get the opinions and the advocacy work from people across all areas of campus. And each of you guys brings in a different experience that we're super duper excited to have. So I'm grateful for y'all being here, super duper grateful for this program, and excited to see the work that y'all do. So
awesome. Okay. Well, I'm just going to have to ask something really quick of the delegates. If I can have all the delegates present, like stand up and actually come to the front, please. Let's make this a little more formal. Yeah. Okay.
and then we'll and then you say go on. Just
Yes. I know you're online, so just follow me, okay, with this. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Haley. And now I would like to introduce the delegates to everyone. As your name is called, please come to the center of the table square so we may swear you all in at once. So you're already here. First, I would like to call up Sarah and Kenny. And Kenny? Ankeny. She is majoring in criminal justice and criminology and is a junior. Next, I would like to welcome Steffi Calero Ayala. Steffi is a senior psychology major with a concentration in clinical counseling. Let's welcome Sky Childress. Sky is a sophomore majoring in gender studies within the College of Letters and Arts and Sciences. Our next delegate is Anaí Palacios Enriquez. They are currently majoring in political science and is a senior. Cyrus Holt is our next delegate. Cy is a sophomore majoring in Africana studies. Next, well, he's not here, so I would like to call up Irvi Powell. Irvi is a sophomore majoring in business intelligence. Jamani Stephen is our next delegate. Jamani is also a sophomore majoring in sports management. Finally, for today, I would like to call up Sana Walker. Sana here? Sana. Oh, all right. Did we say I'm not here?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, perfect. I would also like to recognize the delegates who are not present with us today, which are Chase Jury Gaddis and Sana Walker and William McEwen. Awesome. So now the time we have all been waiting for. Swearing you all in as a delegate of TSAC. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Irvi Paul.
Do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully execute.
Wait. Sorry.
Do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully execute, the duties of the delegate position within the Student Advocacy Council of Metropolitan State University
of Metropolitan State University
of Denver
of Denver
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
and uphold
and uphold
the values of
the values of
integrity,
integrity,
inclusivity,
inclusivity,
and advocacy.
and advocacy.
I promise
I promise
to place the interests
to place the interests
of the students first
of the students first
and work collaboratively
and work collaboratively
with the council members
with the council members
to find the best solutions
to find the best solutions
benefiting our students.
benefiting our students.
Congrats. You are officially sworn in as delegate for MSU Denver Student Government. We hope you will remain with us throughout this meeting and also attend future meetings. I highly encourage you to stay. Please be sure to meet with Stephen and Armando to set up office hours and determine other duties. Congrats again, everyone.
Now officially, as you're swearing in too, we have a little button for you all to show that you're active members. So there you go, Irvi. There you go, Sarah. There you go, if you want. I mean, we'd love to have you do it. Sky. Giovanni. And Anahi, I have yours, so whenever you're back in person again, we'll get it to you. Congratulations, folks. Welcome
Awesome.
to TSAC.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You can just take a seat, or if you need to leave, please do so. But
Stay standing the whole
right. Awesome. Cool.
And the one that I originally had, it had like a.
Oh.
Alrighty, we do have quite a full agenda today, so just to keep things moving, let's go ahead and move forward to voting on the Constitution. Pass it over to Will.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Just confabulated over here.
Thank you.
Awesome. Let's see. So yeah, voting on the well, we're gonna ratify the Constitution, as everyone has put in a lot of time. Thank you for doing that and meeting with me and Matt to, improve the prior Constitution. When I was reading through it, I noticed a lot of issues, which is what prompted me to revise it and rewrite it and have everyone on the council's eyes on it, and whatever improvements or recommendations you have been taken into account and voted on, and so on and so forth. So I just want to give a round of applause to all the councilors. We're going to pull it up now. Please, could you pull that up, Brandon? Yes, Stephen?
I just want to commend all of those who are involved in the constitutional review process. It took many a night. Over 5 hours were spent on reviewing and updating the Constitution. And so truly, to those of you who are highly involved in the process, congratulations. This was a huge effort, and I'm really excited for you all with this.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen. All right. As we've all read it by now and added our input, pretty much we have to ratify it, and it has to be a supermajority in the ratification process of it. Meaning we need how many? There's all of us present here, correct?
Yep.
So we would need 8 to formally ratify this Constitution. But since we've all worked on it collaboratively, I hope to get everyone's names on the signing sheet at the bottom. So I will let the co-chair, well, actually, I put forward that we ratify this Constitution. Do I have a second to that?
I second that motion.
And a second to that. All right.
We're gonna do a dead roll call.
We have to, yeah.
All right. So just indicate your vote with a simple yay or nay of your position on ratifying this Constitution. So we'll start with Michael Warner.
Yay.
That was a yay.
Matthew Rotman.
Yay.
Levi Chi.
Yay.
Susana Villa-Gomez. Yay. Victor Delgado,
Yay.
Amelia Federico, Siobhan McKitty,
Yay.
William Coates,
Yay.
Patrick Severo,
Yay.
and Haley Bliss. Yay. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
I guess we're that excited about the Constitution being ratified. Just for a quick note for the council and everyone present, including the delegates, I guess we are very excited back there. I'll wait for everyone.
it smells really good.
All right.
It smells really good.
We got some napkins.
You should be fine if you continue. The
Okay.
counselors are all here.
So just for the counselors specifically, moving forward, this is what you have ratified to adhere to as the governing document for TSAC. That also goes for future counselors that are in this room. This will be the document that everyone should read and like get to become familiar with, because this is the document that gives you all your responsibilities and all your powers. Okay. And yeah, me and Matt put up in, I don't know how many nights into this. So this is actually a little emotional for me and seeing it actually go through.
I was gonna say cry.
No. I talk so masculinity. But I am very pleased that this has finally been ratified. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Good job, Cowboys.
Alrighty, moving on to our next order of business. It is from Amelia, the resolution to publicly endorse the Colorado Voting Rights Act.
Yes. So, as all of you actually have seen, there
Sorry.
accountability here, co-chair. There was an individual from CU Boulder who reached out because they are concerned with Colorado Common Cause. Colorado Common Cause is a non-profit advocacy organization that is nonpartisan. And so they do advocacy at a state and at a federal level. And so I wanted to write a resolution to endorse the Colorado Voting Rights Act, given, I think, to just put it very bluntly, kind of the chaos of things that are happening federally, and I really don't want anything to happen to our students' voting rights, our students' voting access. You know, I know that some members on the council last fall were really involved with a variety of votes, making sure that voting was accessible as possible. And I would like that to stay the same. And I think because this is a bill that is nonpartisan, that would impact all of our students, I think it is something that we should endorse. And it's not something that I think we need to run to the Capitol to go and lobby for, unless you want to. But I think it is something that we should release a public statement on supporting. And I can go ahead and read this. Oh, Haley, I didn't. Thank you. I didn't want to add your name.
I had to confirm something before I endorsed it, but I got my question clarified, so
Perfect.
I acted on it this morning.
Perfect. Resolution to publicly endorse the Colorado Voting Rights Act, SB 25-001, authored by me, endorsed by myself, Victor Delgado, Haley Glass. The abstract reads, the Student Advocacy Council of Metropolitan State University of Denver recognizes the fundamental importance of equitable voting rights in fostering a representative democracy. In alignment with our mission to advocate for student interest and promote inclusivity, we propose a resolution to endorse the Colorado Voting Rights Act. Whereas the Colorado Voting Rights Act is a nonpartisan piece of legislation proposed in the 2025 Colorado legislative session. States around the U.S., like California and Oregon, are proposing their own statewide Voting Rights Act to protect voting rights act despite ongoing political tides shifting. The Colorado Voting Rights Act aims to prohibit actions by political subdivisions that result in material disparities in voter participation or access among protected classes, including race, color, language, minority groups, and other minority reporting groups. Prevent election methods that impair the ability of protected class members to participate in the political process or influence election outcomes. Ensure voting qualifications are free from discrimination based on gender identity, gender expression, or sexual orientation. Whereas, based on the Student Advocacy Council Constitution, there's no explicit prohibition against endorsing nonpartisan state legislation like the Colorado Voting Rights Act. However, there are a few constitutional considerations to keep in mind. The neutrality cause, Article 3, Section 2, counselors are expected to maintain a neutral view as elected counsel and not represent the council's views on polarizing issues. While voting rights are a fundamental democratic principle, some might argue election-related policies to be politically contentious. Well, can you zoom in a little bit, please? Perfect. Thank you. Power of the council. TSAC has the authority to advocate for student interests and work with external organizations to improve accessibility and equity. Article 3, Section 2, Supporting Voting Rights Act aligns with this mission, especially if framed as a student access issue. Precedent and internal process. Since CU Boulder Student Government is endorsing Colorado Voting Rights Act, this could set a precedent for universities, student government taking a stance. TSAC would need to follow its standard process for introducing and passing a resolution, Article 2, Section 3. Whereas the Student Advocacy Council will publicly endorse the Colorado Voting Rights Act in the form of a public statement published on our Instagram page that can be discussed. Whereas members of the Student Advocacy Council can mention and discuss that the council publicly endorsed the Colorado Voting Rights Act. For example, if a member of TSAC provides testimony on this bill, they can publicly say that TSAC supports this bill. Lastly, whereas endorsing this bill does not indicate that members need to lobby on behalf of this bill. They can if they choose. The purpose of endorsing this bill is the equivalent of publicly supporting this bill for MSU Denver students. Therefore, be resolved. Student government. The Student Advocacy Council will publicly endorse the Colorado Voting Rights Act, SB 25-001, in the form of a public statement.
All right, any questions or concerns regarding this resolution?
There's just two, I believe, corrections potentially that we need to make, or friendly amendments I would suggest. Is, I'm not sure if Victoria did not at least.
I went ahead and
Fix that.
yeah.
Okay. And then, and then the second thing is, if you go to the top, let's scroll to the top, please. Brandon, do you mind scrolling to the top really quick? I think there's a typo with an acronym. I think it should be COBRA. 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 And not COBRA. COBRA.
Yes, thank you.
So do you mind, can we, is that?
Yes.
Yeah. Can we change that, please, Brandon?
Thank you. Love the attention to detail.
Yeah.
No, COBRA. Any other questions or concerns regarding this resolution? Last opportunity before I make a motion.
I would just like to ask, is there any, my first initial thought was a public support on Instagram, if folks want to continue that outside of that, and that, like, that would even look like, in terms of like publicly supporting.
Kind of in response to that, I would say we just do it the same way as we did the other statement that we released. You know, like do it on our Instagram, share it on our website, And then if you want to take action beyond that, then student government can go and lobby as you have included in here and like share that student government has endorsed it without it being a requirement.
You can talk about some of this without talking.
I will also say, nobody else responded to this, but that's okay. If you are interested in supporting testimony for this bill, that is due today. We can talk more about that after this meeting.
Any other questions or concerns regarding directly to the resolution? Last opportunity. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion to pass this resolution to publicly endorse the Colorado Voting Rights Act.
Second.
Any objections? Any abstentions? The resolution passes. Awesome, and then next up, our other agenda item is also from Amelia for an advocacy update and council discussion on the GITA space.
Yes, so last week there was some really important discussion that we had with Dr. Davidson, Taylor Tackett, members of our council, and a few from public comment about the GITA space and what is currently happening to the GITA space. I'm a member of TRIOTA, which is the Gender and Women's Studies Honors Society. I sit on the board for that. And we are leading the advocacy effort to really hold university accountable in terms of making sure that GITA has the space that they deserve, which is really important. At the same time, I do not believe that our advocacy should be talking negatively about other LGBTQ resources on campus. The LGBTQ Resource Center that is in the Tivoli has to report to 3 different institutions. They have 3 different institutions as their boss. That's really hard. I have one manager for each job that I have. I could not imagine having three different institutions that are constantly maybe in disagreement, maybe see things differently. And who the LGBTQ Resource Center has to report to. GITA has different autonomy than the LGBTQ Resource Center does. That is just the reality of their governance structure and who they report to. And I just want to kind of clarify that because I don't think some of the things that were said was necessarily kind to them. But, you know, it's a learning moment for all of us because I don't think sometimes the internal structures of how things work, students are always available to that knowledge. It's just because I have been at this university for a really long time. I'm always asking questions of why things work the way that they work. That is how I'm able to know that. So I wanted to say that. And I also wanted to say that the advocacy is moving forward, and the space that GITA currently has, they will be moving out of by the end of March. So when we come back for spring break, that space will no longer be GITA's. So I highly encourage every single council member and our new delegates, even our advisors, if you have not spent time in the GITA space as it is now, please do. It is a wonderful space. As we talked about last week, it's beautiful, it's amazing, and we are sad to see it go, but we are also really, really hopeful for what this new construction can look like. And so we met with both provost, both the deputy provost and the provost this week as a TRIOTA board, and they gave us some updates, and we are really excited to be working collaboratively with administration. We've also met with the dean, and we are going to continue these advocacy meetings because it is an important space to everybody. So I wanted to give that update and kind of share that about the LGBTQ Resource Center because they do work really hard. I think it was just a misunderstanding, and that's okay. Because I also misspoke about a couple of things as well, and that has been. I misspoke about the Veterans Affairs Office. I heard what I thought was factual information. It's not factual information. The Veterans Affairs Office is not moving. Nothing is happening. The only reason I brought it up is because I wanted to give voice to it, but I misspoke and that is not correct information. So I apologize about that. It's a very long-winded way to give an update. So thank you.
Any questions or concerns for Amelia on that update?
Where are they moving to? Or still,
Well, they want to go back to the original side. Continue.
still to be determined?
So they are moving into Central. So what happened is Vito was, one of the spaces that they were offered is a space in AES. And there's some rhetoric kind of flying around that, oh, Gita denied this space. Well, first of all, that space was $1,000 square foot less than what they have now. So that's 1,000 square feet, that's huge. That's a lot of space to decrease that in value. So the rhetoric that Gita denied this space because it's in the AES building and the political things, that might have had something to do with it, but it was fundamentally a lot smaller. And then they were proposed to move into the central building where the dean's office for College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences currently is. So the dean's office is now moving into AES. That space also still needs renovations. But the space in Central needs a lot of renovations. And something that I found kind of actually concerning is how much turnover there has been in the provost's office. There's been a lot of turnover, and I was really curious why that was. Still learning about that and learning who the provost directly reports to, is the president. And so over the course of 7 years, Gita has known that they've needed to move spaces. But because of all of the turnover in the provost's office, not just the only reason because, but it was a contributing factor that because there were people, cycling, there wasn't one steady person, things got missed, things got kind of overlooked. And there was not the preparation that needed to be for this move. There was also some mismanagement because there was renovations to their current space when they knew that they needed to move. So things have it's been kind of hard because there hasn't been, to just put it bluntly, there hasn't been a steady provost in the provost position. And I don't want to put blame on anybody, but that's just kind of the reality of the situation.
Number 2. Can you tell me the differences between Gita and the center in the Tivoli, and why do they work together at all?
Yeah.
And like, what is there any updates about maybe they're going to come together at all, or
Maybe in Tivoli Reimagined.
I was going to bring that up.
Because they have, first of all, so they do work together. Sometimes they collaborate. A lot of their work is very intersecting. But the LGBTQ Research Center, I'm also not an expert, but as I understand it, functions almost like a tri-institutional LGBTQ Research Center that is accessible for CU Denver, CCD, and MSU Denver, and collaborates and reports to all 3 universities. So that is a lot of moving parts. Even when we think about trying to do things tri-institutionally with our student government, we're like, oh, it's overwhelming. That's what they have to do all the time. But they put on events, they host amazing wellness sessions for students, they have an amazing reading library for students, and they do more work outside of that too. I don't want to try to say that I'm the expert, but the kind of distinction here is that Gita is under academic affairs within MSU Denver. I've learned they're not under student affairs. So they're a function under one university under academic affairs, which sets up their structure, their governing structure, the way that they're able to implement things or not implement things in very different ways. And I would hope in Tivoli Reimagined that they can finally do the renovations that they need to make that back closet actually an office that they have been waiting on. So in the Reimagine, would love to reimagine things. And again, if I know some information just because of research that I've done, questions that I've asked, and the committees that I sit on. But again, if there are holes or gaps filling, please correct. Yes, please. I was actually motioning to you, Dr. Barone, because you work directly with them and you have for so long.
I do have.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let Dr. Barone go first.
Dr. Barone and then Mike.
I do. Go first.
Thank you. I just have a point of clarification. Yes,
the LGBTQ Center is tri-institutional. You are absolutely correct on that, and they have to support students at all 3 institutions, but they are under my supervision at MSU Denver, but so the reporting structure. So just to clarify on that piece, but yes, you are correct that because of the Tivoli space and the Tivoli Reimagined project, there have been a lot of delays, and we've been trying to save our pennies for a long time to do some renovations in the Tivoli, but it's super expensive and not now with the Tivoli Reimagined project that has been put on pause. And that is hopefully going to go in the next 2 years. The Tivoli Reimagined project, they're hiring architects now to design the space. I don't know if there is an opportunity for Gita and the LGBTQ Center to come together. I want to be clear that they're very distinct in terms of their purpose and their mission and their function. Yes, they're intersection, but because Gita is an academic department and teaches curriculum and courses and has a major and a minor, it's very different. Whereas the LGBTQ Center is truly a resource and support service for that community and allies.
Thank you.
Mike?
Perfect, thank you. So I really like how you opened this meeting, Amelia, because last week I was online and I did hear some things that I found were a little disrespectful.
Yeah.
As a queer student, I've utilized both centers actually in my day, and Sunny is one of the best professors I've had at this university
Love fun.
for many of my classes. But I do think, I know Tyrell heard that.
Yeah.
Heard that, I know Blue heard that recording. I do think it warrants an apology to them directly, and an opening for how we work together in that sense. Because I definitely sensed in that meeting that Tyrell had not been reached out to. I just feel like I can sense that. And Tyrell's she does great work down there, and I know she wants more.
She busts her butt.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Understaffed, underpaid, and giving a mountain of a job to do with like basically 3 people in the department. So I do think I would say an apology is warranted from the individuals that said that. But on the other hand, good news in the long term. So I mentioned this slightly last week, but well, it's in relation to this. There is multiple projects on campus, whether that's housing, whether that is the health center, whether there's like 3 big projects on campus, plus the Tivoli Reimagined, so that's 4. In the long term, this is me playing the long game. I think that will eventually be where Gita's new home will be in these brand new buildings, beautiful buildings. That is not fixed the short term. I do understand that, but I do think for the delegates in the room, this is going to be 2027. That's going to be when these things are set to be done. I think that's where we should aim and start advocating now to have Gita find its home there, I'd say. It doesn't, of course, it's still short term, but I think that's where we should definitely play that long term game. So, but I appreciate you.
Direct response?
Small.
Oh, Victor and then Amelia.
I just want, in the Tivoli Reimagined committee meetings, I'm just gonna say, I have yapped about getting Gita in there and trying to get some better services for the LGBTQ community. So that is definitely on the table in the conversations, just so that people know that. Something like that.
Amelia.
I think I agree about the apology because I think there's always things that we don't know, whether we're students, whether we're faculty, whether we're staff members, there's always a part of the reality that we don't know. And so I try to think that way. And something that makes me think about is what limitations are they currently operating under that are not maybe allowing their work to blossom in the ways that they want and maybe in the ways that students want. Because I agree that they've worked so hard and I'm like, what are the barriers that they might experience and that students are like, well, maybe I can't access them or maybe they can't do the work in the ways that they want to. So that's something that I want to dig into a little bit deeper, like in addition to Dr. Barone, who do they directly report to? I don't know.
Me.
Okay. Do they report to in addition to
Student affairs.
the student affairs? Okay. So,
Dr. Burr runs all the identity-based groups and student affairs, basically, so.
And so-
She's the final boss. That's what I
the
call her,
final boss, yeah.
but she's
So-
awesome.
Yeah, we can talk offline about those things, and I appreciate you saying that because I do think there are areas where we could definitely student support and input and advocacy, but I also think that there are systemic barriers that are also in the way because of the tri-institutionality that I think make it a very complicated thing.
Awesome. Any other questions, comments, concerns on this topic? All right, I think we
Yeah.
are,
I understand.
yes. I think we're gonna go, we're doing really well on our agenda, although we have lots of updates, and I thought this was gonna take a lot longer. As you may have noticed, we've got some little treats to celebrate our new delegates, so I'm gonna make a motion for us to take a 5 to 10 minute recess for everybody to gather their little treats.
I want to clarify 10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any objections to?
Absolutely not.
Any extensions? Okay, we will reconvene at 2 or 12:26. Not 2. 12:26. Yeah, let me know if it's good for Jesus for that.
It's just a
Chairs side by side. Beds are over here.
Mike, there was a meeting that we didn't get to today, so.
Okay. We got it in like 2 days.
Yeah, good. And give that up. That's what happened.
Okay. And then the faculty, we didn't have to do that.
So, reading
Their bylaws.
the St. Cap bylaws, reading St. Cap bylaws, they had a minimum requirement was to get a full-time student.
Right, but you didn't say what it looks like.
But Colorado law, I guess, full-time, they're well out.
He's the final sheet.
Well,
He has really.
And so that's what we're trying to like, I think it's okay.
It's not.
Well, I know they were very full.
Which I don't mind.
Our first update.
So it works, you know.
Veterans are the guys.
It's also tough.
So it's-
Crazy.
Guys,
Oh,
it is 12:26, we gave y'all 10 minutes.
I have to-
Because then we can double.
I have to-
We can double if we get some nice.
How are you?
Not you.
I know, I missed you sitting outside of my office. I'm like, where's the house?
All right, no, Mike's ready. All right, calling this meeting back to order. We're gonna move straight into board and committee announcements and updates.
Oh my God, that's me first.
You're first up,
I'm so
Michael
sorry.
Warner.
I'm so sorry. I don't have any updates on
Nothing?
the
You promise?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to state cap then.
That's a rough
Fun.
one right now.
Keep it to
Giving that.
Yes.
state kind of business.
Yes, we just talked about our current plans to go over bylaws. We're still going over bylaws. Finding interesting details in it. Let's see. Civil Reimagine is going really well. I was on the selection committee and we chose a architect already. They did some, their presentation was really good. So you guys are gonna see some really cool stuff coming in the next couple of years. And then, what else? Oh, there's another safety building that they're still trying to get more information on, opinions and stuff like that. And then, do you have anything else for sustainability?
Still working on EBT access on campus and working with the various sustainability on the community service project. Like the unit base.
Direct comment or question from Mike?
I heard some rumors. I'm not sure that they're true or not, but like, is there anything that's definitive? Something we talked about?
Sure you speak up for the
That you want to speak on that?
That's still
In
background
process?
stuff.
Okay, never mind. We're good.
All right, moving over to accountability. Will?
Thank you to all the counselors. I know your time is valuable, so I have to start off with that. As far as accountability goes, we just ratified our new constitution. That's the biggest thing we've done. I'm part of the accountability. My next objective is to develop our guidelines a bit more and then finally integrate them so the future accountability committees have something to work with. I will also very likely ask the committees that haven't developed their guidelines to do so. That would be nice stuff. That way we have some kind of semblance for continuance for the future counselors and actual delegates here who will become counselors in the future. So that's the plan.
Perfect. Moving over to budget for. I'll let you finish too.
Thank you. All right. As far as budget, right now we're updating currently everything as it is. We just got input in our receipts that we have, so I'm just trying to catch up on that. My laptop kind of busted on me, so yeah, so I had to delay me. If not, by Monday for the budget committee meeting, we are going to be having 2 guests here to present for their for organizations and different events that they want to attend to. Additionally, we're also going to be, if need be, we're going to be evaluating the budget. I don't think we will. I'm just looking at the things I have right now. Seems like we're looking pretty good, but we're just going to be just updated on that. That meeting is going to be held on Monday at 3 o'clock. That's the time that I put it as. So, if you guys are able to attend, please. But other than that, that is all I have as far as the budget committee. We're doing a pretty good job. I think everyone has their events and Let's get creative and let's see how much more things we can do with what we have, And it's not just for us, it's for, for the student body that ultimately what we're trying to do and maybe establish a legacy or tradition here that we can do. Question?
What are the two that reached out? What are the two
We have one from the EDA chapter, which reached out prior, and recently we have from the FSL for fraternity student life.
I don't want to interject. But if they done.
Yeah, they were done.
Okay, cool. Question, do we know the amounts, like an estimate of like FSL and the other?
I know one.
I believe for the EDA chapter is $900. And as far for the FSL,
They want all 15.
yeah, they want all of that 1,500 right there. If you're concerned regarding the budget, we still have a total of 15,000 remaining. Well, no, actually 13,000, like 13,000 estimated for solely for the student organizations. So if we can get more people to get that out by the end of the semester, the better, because that's what the money's there for, is for our student organizations to travel and to be able, to depend on us. So that's one of the good things that's going on here is that obviously the word is getting out and we're able to do whatever we can do. Does that answer your question?
Any other questions about that? All right, we're gonna move over to PR committee.
I did want to discuss a few things about the event that didn't happen in Polo. As you can see, that was a learning experience for all of us. And for future occurrences, I do want events to be planned through PR. I want them more than at least 3 to 4 weeks advance because we're all students. I also don't want all of us to be under the pressure of an event that we're all stressing about. And if you all signed up for an event and you sign up for another thing, please make sure that I will hold you accountable for future occurrences. So yeah, that's all I have for you.
I know it wasn't bad last, but it's like we had the better system last semester. But do we have like a calendar with all our schedules on it? Currently sitting around somewhere.
We never had a system, but
Might be worth it because I'm only on campus twice a week, so that's why. So like it's this semester changed all that stuff, so it might be worth just having that laid out.
with everybody's schedule.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Well, we had that when we first started, because I was the one that posted it, made a copy and posted it on all the computers.
That was the office hours, which is different from our regular schedules.
However, we need something that's similar as to that same day with office hours.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think that would make it easier for us to find something that like all of this. Do you have anything else to say?
One of those.
Wait, what?
How was the brain? I guess.
Well, thank you, Chair, not Co-Chair. As it is right now, if you guys have any ideas ongoing for PR, please come. Let's get to work. I have an idea that's currently in the project in the works. Might need some time given the weather. However, I don't want to wait for like 2 weeks, or the sooner the better, right? If we can establish a project that, say, we take our time out with it, take like a couple of weeks, but we get it done right. That's all that really matters. I know I've heard some great ideas, especially I know me and Vic are talking about maybe ball. We do have quite a bit of our budget. We want to make sure we use that to the best of our ability and to make sure that we can adapt to what to our student body. But other than that, I think that's all I have. I think we have a meeting today at 3. So if you guys have any ideas, please come stop by.
That meeting it is set out to use Outlook. So if you guys could pop out and hint, that is only to me and Patrick will actually available throughout the week to actually communicate with you guys and plan things correctly. So we would really appreciate that.
I'll be there. I have ideas for all.
Fantastic. I love it. That's all we have.
Perfect. I'm gonna move it over to sustainability committee. So again, no. Oh, so on top of Earth Week, which we will be helping plan with their very sustainable campus program, we had Rowdy's Corner and Gita reach out to us about helping with a resource fair. So our help in this would essentially be tabling and then helping with some of the expenses. So we're looking to do some care packages for that to hand out to students. I will have more details next meeting when I'll present the resolution, but if you guys have any input on that, Victor and I are going to have a sustainability meeting Monday at 11:30. Because Monday's the only day I don't have classes.
Yeah.
So anyways, but we're going to be like putting together some care packages and maybe helping with the catering for that event. We'll pass the resolution hopefully next week, but that's going to be March 12th and 13th. So maybe mark your calendars in advance, see if you're able to help table. I mean, I'm making sure that I'm able to attend, but it's hopefully more students that we can have, obviously. And then also keep in mind maybe helping put together those care packages. And we also have delegates that can hopefully help with that coming up soon. But I think that's the only new thing from us. Do you have anything else? The RTD?
Oh, yes. Maybe that's an important one, huh?
Maybe.
There is a survey out that we have made, curated at SACAP about the RTD pass being back on the tuition. So please get that survey out to as many of your groups as you can. The Veterans Office, to GDET, delegates, please, to your sororities, to your fraternities. You want to get as much information as possible so you can see how we go about trying to get that back on the tuition. So that would be very much appreciated.
Where's can we access it?
Yes, could I maybe I'll get Brandon just to you guys. That'll be okay, brother? Thank you.
Is the survey just for it to be on MSU campus tuition, or is it for
So
CCD and C too?
AHIC is making the contract with all three institutions including. So we're trying to get all of the tuition back onto, or the pass back onto all of the institutions.
Levi, Will, and I want to say maybe about 2 weeks ago, this was, by the way, had meetings with 2 folks from the CCG student government, talking about tri-institutional things. So maybe that can be one of our, dare I say, CCG student government has been very eager to collaborate on things. They've even reached out to CU Denver student government. For some reason, I can't find CU Denver student government's like emails, so I just kind of guessed based off of their advisor's email. Maybe it's a me problem that I can't find their email. Oh, okay. That's fine.
I think Matt or Will.
So you're the point of contact for that?
Yes.
Matt?
I would just be cautious, having the projects in that tri-institutional group be the same as SACAP.
Can you explain?
Yeah, I was gonna, because it's one of our initiatives for SACAP.
Because SACAP is directly working on it, and if any of y'all want to like work with SACAP on it, I think that would be great, amazing. But based on last year, because we tried the tri-institutional piece, it blurred that line so hard, and it made it where that committee was kind of pointless.
I was just gonna say, I appreciate that. That's kind of what we talked about in the meeting. You were also there. Is this like historical piece of working tri-institutionally with other student governments? Sometimes it is, from what I have learned, tricky, complicated, and maybe not the most streamlined process, but from engaging with the CCD student government, they are really, really eager to collaborate with us. We even went on a tour of their office and they had like an outreach list. And we were on the outreach list. Some of our MSU different clubs were on their outreach list. And so this new CCD student government administration, to my knowledge, has a lot of new members, people on there. And so I think that is a good opportunity, not to deny maybe some of the past experience that's been there, but I think they're very eager to work on projects with us, so that's why I just brought it up.
My only point was, I support that and want to see it happen. All I was stating is try and make sure it's different work than what SACAB is doing. If we want to organize collaborative projects, events, absolutely. But if it's something that SACAB itself is doing, I would tend to say work with SACAB instead of having two entities working towards the same goal and not communicating, because that's what happened last year.
Just on this question for a minute. Just based on what Matt said, is it the one that CCD is planning for the Cinco de Mayo? Because one of them contacted me about that, and he wanted to do a trial of HAP do with that. Is that something similar, or is that different from the SACAB core?
I'm not on SACAB, but the reason that I brought CCD student government up is because they want to work on projects with us. So I was just thinking about like having them support with us what Victor and Matt are already doing. That I think is something separate that I do want to talk about because they do want to do that, and I have heard about that. So maybe we can talk about it.
Okay, thank you. Alrighty, Will, did you still have your questions? Okay. I think that's all from sustainability then. Moving on to faculty senate and staff senate updates.
We do not have any new updates.
We didn't have
No.
any updates.
No updates? Okay. Open floor announcements updates. Anybody got anything?
Just more so for the delegates in the room. Please, after this meeting, get with the advisors if you have some time, if they have time. Talk to them. That's all.
Yeah, I guess the same. So, since you guys are just now on board, I'm excited for you guys to be part of this. So, for those of you that are interested in doing something for PR, if there's a burning idea or anything, suggestion that you guys may have, today at 3 o'clock, you guys have the opportunity to do that. Susana is going to be there. I might not be there because I may have SAB meetings that may extend past that. However, I would strongly advise to go there. Susana's a great help, and with you guys, it's even better to get going with what we wanted to do. Like our goal here, I know a lot of you guys are interviews expressed interest in that, so definitely they'll be at our office at the Tivoli at the 307, so right there. It's going to be a meeting. Tickets from 3 to 4, so just wanted you guys to be aware of that, so you guys are involved in this directly as well. That's all I have.
I think it was Vic, Mike, and Amelia.
Please pass out the RTD survey. Please, I can't print it out. I have some actually I work at the survey center, and there's a bunch of copies on the front desks there. If you guys want to grab one, pass it. And flyers.
So that survey is only physical, it's not online?
Yeah, it's a QR code.
And does it like ask the student's ID or can it be like published? Okay.
It's the only thing it asks is your institution, but it doesn't ask anything other than.
Well, I'm just asking that in case you want to like make it public. You know what I mean? Instead of like sharing it between like the people you know study here.
Like, can it be, are you a foreigner, can it be shown with the organization?
No, I meant like for example, like if I have a group when I have like a bunch of students that I know were here, some people graduated, and I sent the link to their
Yeah, that
media.
works too. I could definitely send you links for that.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be posted like in Instagram stories or anything.
Oh, yes, post it anywhere.
Anywhere, okay.
Post it anywhere and everywhere, please.
Real quick, before we move on,
I'm not calling you out, so don't take this personally. We haven't quite decided how we're gonna integrate delegates into the meeting, so, we'll kind of go over that next time. But just for kind of like point of order, if you have something to say, just kind of like raise your hand, let the chairs know, we'll call upon you guys to speak. And then we're still kind of working out exactly how we're gonna integrate the delegates into the meeting, so definitely not about it. You're totally fine for asking questions in the ballot. But just maybe for future reference. You're totally fine, no worries at all.
I raised my hands a couple of times when neither of you
No
saw
worries,
me.
no worries. It's also, for this meeting specifically, we're also not going to have the delegates kind of speak on it, just because we weren't quite sure how to integrate it yet, so Scott also had a comment earlier that we waited and postponed until after the meeting. We're still working on that. If you guys have input, I know we definitely want to hear from you guys, and we still want to hear that, but we're still kind of working on the formalities and point of order of how exactly we want to integrate it since it's a new program, but just so you know, you're fine. No, it's okay. Okay, Mike Benavilia.
Yes, I'm sure some of the survey picture for you. I'm sure to send out the survey for you. This is my group total. And I do want to promote because I'm doing this all the time, but my fraternity is doing a trash cleanup, and we want to invite as many people as possible. Just clean the campus. We're going to try and make it a monthly thing, build some community on campus. So we'd love to have student come. So it's in 2 weeks. It's on Thursday, 27th at 4. 4 to 5:30. Huh?
Throw it in the chat.
Oh, I'll throw it in the chat. Yes. But yes, it's something I just want to link those two roads together and see if we can get more research and just work research and police council can do work research. So.
Awesome. Thank you. Amelia?
We're gonna talk about Gita again. What's new? Nothing. I will never stop talking about Gita, actually. So I'm sure we have all seen the Know Your Rights trainings around campus, probably in the community. And the students of Gita, Triota, GWS, folks, really we're looking for something that is MSU Denver specific and something that brings in community advocacy organizations as a way to have students interact with them. And then I had the idea of also incorporating wellness into these Know Your Rights trainings. I attended the tri-institutional one. It was on a Tuesday a couple weeks ago. It was wonderful. They had the legal justice Smirsky, I think was a legal center that came. They had pizza. It was beautiful. And I think that these Know Your Rights trainings are obviously very, very important, but I want to incorporate a wellness aspect into it because this information, while it is very important, it can be very, very heavy. And so some students and I had a meeting with some Gita folks this week, and we are in the works of planning kind of a series of a Know Your Rights wellness training. So the first portion of it is going to be the legal, Know Your Rights, the amendments. And then the second kind of iteration of it is going to be the practical, put it in practice, interactive, like what do you do if you are working at a front desk and ICE comes and asks for a student? Because there's already a training established that last time it was done was in the fall of 2022 that is specific to MSU Denver that I think will be very, very useful for folks. Not to say that previous ones haven't. This is just kind of focusing a little bit more on our campus. And then the third iteration that Triota is going to be working on is this wellness piece. So bringing in Limpias to a wellness training. Limpia never hurt nobody. Coloring, food, and that's something that I wanted to share with student government because I think it'd be really cool if folks are interested in supporting. We can always use people who are interested in supporting this capacity. It's always low, but people always want to do the projects. This is open for delegates as well, so we're thinking about it kind of first iteration, second iteration, third iteration, because that's a lot to do in an afternoon. So we're splitting it up into kind of having it be a series of 3 that is student-led and working with folks. Had that meeting this week, and I just wanted to share it here in case folks are interested in supporting, and we can, it's very new in its planning stages, but we can figure out exactly how to plug folks into different stages.
And did you have a comment?
Not direct comment, but somebody tangential, but it's also just more my own open floor announcement.
Okay, what was yours direct then? Or did you have anything?
Yeah. So I went to the staff senate meeting a week or two ago, and Gregor was presenting to that committee about a undocupeers training, which I got some information like a day or two ago from him on it that I'll put in the chat. But we can sign up with them, it looks like. And the training would be Friday, April 4th, 9 to 3. I will. Unfortunately, that is a Friday.
Is there a
9 to 3.
Yeah.
I can also try and reach out to him if we can try and set up like our own. And especially if we're doing it with the delegates, that would make it a little more worthwhile.
You could potentially if a delegate wants to.
Yeah.
Do delegates have access to it yet?
They do now.
Okay.
As of 2 seconds ago.
Oh.
I'll put it in the chat so everyone can see it, and delegates that's an opportunity. If the council members can't make it, hopefully one of you can help make it and learn some good stuff.
Any other open floor announcements?
Did you have to complete those?
No,
Yeah, I had a direct comment to Amelia's the Know Your Rights training series that you're talking about. Awesome idea. I just, as y'all are coming up with the work that you're doing, I just was curious, have you talked to Gregor at all that you all are planning this series? What I don't want is things to get conflated or confused. So just making sure you're talking to the people who are already coordinating things so that they know you're doing something separate or different.
We just, no, we haven't yet because we just had our first planning meeting, but I wanted to announce it before I forgot and got so like hyper focused on it, but we will.
I would just reach out to Nayeli, who's also on that committee, who works with them. I just want to make sure we're not duplicating efforts. And if we're building on something, that's great, but just make sure the people who started it actually know you're doing that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Did you also hear? Patrick.
Actually, after our meeting that we did with Gregor, we went with Dr. David Vine, I did get his email, so I did reach out to him. So Tom's gonna meet with him for coffee, see like kind of informally just to see what ideas. So I was almost forgot, but I wanted to let you guys know about that as well. So it's gonna be on. He was available for Wednesday, so I was gonna meet with him on Wednesday, like at 2:00, and just try to see what things that he's doing and what we're doing, and how we can establish that line between each other to organize events and to have ISP and TSAC involved together. So if you guys want to be involved with that meeting, let me know. So maybe we can talk directly about that, or I can just tell them that we are developing as is at that time.
Amelia.
Yes.
Sam, I think, Sam, if I'm not mistaken, yours is not a direct comment. You have just an announcement about elections, correct? So these are both, okay, cool. So then we'll go Amelia then Matt for direct comment, keeping it on the same conversation, and then we'll go to Sam.
Maybe right.
You're separate? Okay, we'll do Sam before you then.
Okay.
Maybe right before the PR committee or after this meeting, we can kind of talk about how we want to work through these things, because they sound really similar. Maybe they can be combined, maybe they are distinct and separate, but I do remember that it was one of our goals in the beginning when we went to the retreat to support undocumented students. And I think people are doing a lot of amazing work, and I agree with Dr. Burrow, what she said is to anything. So maybe we can talk a little bit before the PR meeting. Wanted to announce that so folks who are interested can come and be there for that discussion.
I'm gonna move it over to, did you have a direct comment? Okay, I'm gonna move it over to Sam.
All right, can you guys hear me okay? Cool. Awesome. I just have a couple quick updates for elections. Things are going really well. I've handed out, I think, about 20 candidate packets so far, and I'd say at least half of them seem like pretty strongly interested. So that's really exciting. So tabling's been going pretty well. I do have a quick request for everyone, and I threw it in the chat a couple days ago, but I just wanted to state it here. My other job has me out of town for a couple days in the next few weeks. So if there are any candidates who are not planning on running next year who would be willing to try and solo a table on the 25th and or the 5th, that would be amazing. You don't have to be there for the whole 12 to 3 time. Just like any sort of coverage would be great. I can coordinate with people after this. I just wanted to get it out there that assistance there would be greatly appreciated. And everyone has helped me out so far, has been amazing. And I am not forgetting that either. So yeah, that's basically it for elections. Let me know if you guys got any questions or if you are able to help out. Yeah.
Moving over to Matt.
So I have another event that I got information on is the Colorado Higher Education Basic Needs Summit. So it's a collection of the different colleges and universities around Colorado talking about basic needs. It'll be Wednesday, April 9th from 8:30 to 3 at CSU Spur Campus. I will post it all. I'm just saying it verbally so everybody kind of knows, and I'm going to post it.
Any other announcements, updates? One little quick thing. Let's try to keep the. Oh, did you have something? Oh, that was you. Okay, I said anything. Okay. Let's try to keep the office cleaner than we have been. It hasn't been awful, but it's been a little nasty at times. Like when I'm walking in and I find 5 soda cans that are half drank, or like open candy, or like papers everywhere, even just like clutter. If we could try keep it a little bit cleaner, because that is a space that's open for students as well. Fair comment.
Yes, that fridge is stinky.
We need to get rid of those.
If it's in there for 3 days, I'd throw it away. I don't know, like, keep the stinky stink out.
So that was quick and easy, but any other, okay, advisors?
Sure, I can go first. All right, folks. First of all, congratulations again, delegates. We're very excited to have you as part of again, Armando and I will be in touch with you all specifically, and just for the record, if delegates who are not here and choose to watch out this meeting, we will also be in touch with you on an alternative day to go through your onboarding process. Thank you for those of you who attended Day at the Capitol. Hopefully it was fulfilling. Hopefully you got some good information and saw some good things or not so good things that hopefully you all want to change. So that's good. I've asked this for the past few weeks, and I'm going to ask it again. Folks who are committee chairs or working on special projects in TSAC, I do need you all to send me what you're doing and what you all need help with. Will, you have sent me yours, so thank you for doing that. But for others, I do need you all to formally do that. And the reason I'm asking you to do that is so Armando and I can better articulate what's there instead of saying, oh, we got some budget things. Oh, we got this.
If you don't do it, we will.
Yeah. So.
I have a long list of special projects. Do you need me to send you something like that too?
Yes, I need anyone who has special projects that they need support.
Essentially anything that you would want like the delegates to be is what it's for.
Yes.
Just for clarity's sake, yeah.
Thank you. It could be as simple as, hey, we just need folks on the PR committee. Or it could be, hey, we want, we're hosting a budget meeting to do a budget audit or something like that. Please don't do an audit. But, yeah.
Audits.
So this is the opportunity for the third time for y'all to deep dive and vision plan for what you want to build, just like we talked about today. So something I can help you with that. Like, this is the opportunity for you to build sustainable foundations for your committees. We've given you all a chance.
Yes.
Let's please make it.
Susanna?
I was gonna see if I could send it to you on Monday.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm going to give you a due date of Monday at 5 o'clock.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, weekend homework.
Weekend homework, yes. A couple other things that I have. For those of you who are attending the Tulane trip, flights have been booked. Lodging has been booked. Should anything change at this point, you need to let us know ASAP. because we're talking about a lot of money that we're putting forth for this trip. So I need to know that ASAP. Last thing let me just roll through my things before questions come up, please. Black History Month is happening this month. There are events every single week. These events are extremely powerful and really great. The folks who have put together these events have been fabulous in what they've done. So please, if you have time in your very busy schedules, please attend any of these events. There's a giant banner hanging right outside your office. You can see what all the events are. Last thing, within the next week or so, I am going to put some time on the agenda for me directly to present to you all. CMEI is working with a bunch of campus stakeholders to look at how Welcome Week functions at this institution. And we're looking at expanding. And so I want to put your eyes on it. I'm interested to hear your feedback. For those of you who work in CMEI, you already know a lot of what we're looking to do, which is really good. However, we're always looking for feedback to see and I really just want to show you all what we're doing. A few of us are meeting with Vice President Simpkins next week. So depending on how that meeting goes, I may put it on the agenda for next Friday or potentially the Friday after. But again, just want to share that with you all. We've got significant student feedback so far, but really just want to put your eyes on it and hear what you all think. I yield my time.
Do you have a question?
Do we have a number on the trip?
Well,
Oh, you got it.
12 people.
Are you happy with crazy?
12. Yeah.
Will came with this great initiative to focus as well. For me, I was gonna reiterate about the projects. That's the biggest thing. I recognize the system I sent out for your office hours was not easy for me. So I'm still putting that together. Like I said, I'll work with Brandon on getting more of a schedule kind of office hours things, but I don't want to have everyone's schedule just public because as Mike said, like he's only here 2 weeks or 2 days a week. So the other days it's not feasible. It's not realistic for us to ask him to be here. You could, but I can't. Other than that, I was just gonna say still great work on rocking and rolling and getting some things done. And just to remember the goals, I see that we're getting back into a lot of sparse projects and our fingers are kind of extending, and let's remember those 4 that we talked about in the retreat. And I think that's really it.
Yeah, we need to take a look back again at the goals and projects on the retreat because you all updated those. We need to get that back and forth.
Yeah. I think that's all for me. As Mike did, I will publish or promote for Fraternity Story Life. Fraternity Story Life is hosting Greek Week the first week of March, so in about 2 weeks. We have a week full of events. Monday, if you know any faculty or staff members who are affiliated, we'll have an affiliation luncheon. Tuesday, I am hosting a resume workshop directly translating leadership experience for Fraternity Story Life, but also it applies here for student government to help you translate your experiences here in leadership to your resume direct lines. Wednesday, we are having a I Can Buy Myself Flowers Women's Empowerment Silk Flowers kind of workshop thing. So come learn come learn how to support the women in our lives. And then Thursday, we're wrapping it up with our eighth annual yard show. Yeah. What's a yard show? Yard shows for all the most awards to come, step, stroll, do their performances. This year's theme is genres. So each organization has like a different genre. Mike's participating, Susanna's participating, so you'll see them out on the floor.
Don't come back.
That's gonna be internal. I'll drop the flyer in the chat.
Perfect. Did you have any other ones, or move over to Dr. Brown?
Yeah. No, I just want to say welcome and congratulations to the delegates. I'm sorry I haven't been as present and as around as Armando and Steven. I've been here, I'm a support, but I have been working on delegating more to them as I'm working on other projects. Just so you all know, I will be stepping into the interim director of the Veterans Center role for a brief time period, hopefully just 2 months, I hope, as I'm hiring a new director. So that's one of the projects I've been working on, because I do oversee all the identity-based centers programs at MSU in addition to this. So just so you all know, that's one of the reasons I haven't been as present and available, but I still care a lot about you and I want to advocate. And as you all are bringing forth your advocacy work and your initiatives, please take the time to reach out to me if you do have questions about system structures, where things fall in the university and in the institution. That's what I'm here for. And I do recognize y'all are very passionate about a lot of these things, but it's really important to understand the organizational structure and the bureaucracy so that you can be effective in your advocacy. So that's really important. And so you're not also duplicating efforts that you may not even know about that are already happening, so you can align with others on campus to be able to advance those things as you move forward. So just a couple things I just want to throw out there as you're coming up with these things or have questions or need clarity. I talk to Stephen constantly and Armando too, so we have our own chats and our own things, but as things come up, please let me know how I can be here to support. I recognize a lot of you, and so I'm really excited to see you delegates in these leadership roles, and good job to the current counselors for motivating, encouraging, and mentoring our new leaders. So thank you.
One last thing, sorry, this is gonna be simple though, but I want everyone here to come together as a collective to do our goal voter count list. My first year, my goal was 300 and I got to 335. Last year, our goal was 500, we only got 128. So I want y'all to come up with a goal because we're gonna need voter engagement heavy for elections. So I'll let you all decide the goal. Last thing, yes.
Also, I think it's good because assuming you get like 20 applicants, means everyone has to go out there and kind of get the votes and needs a little more competitive. I think it'd be good. So
That's what we want, a competitive election, but also voter engagement to go up there as well. That's all, sorry.
Okay. Any last final thoughts? I'm gonna motion to end the meeting then.
Second.
Any objections? Any abstentions? Have a great weekend. Have Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
I know. Call you up.
So what are we doing later? What are you doing later?